it's Kate from Inkstampshare.ink. I've got this lovely table favour to show you how to make today for your Christmas table. I've made it using the Year of Cheer speciality papers with the mixed metallics, and they're absolutely gorgeous. And I thought it would make a great little table favour for your Christmas table. So I'll show you how to do it. I've used just 6x6 piece of the speciality paper, which means you can get 4 of these from each piece, so it's quite an economical use of your papers. And I've used the envelope punch board to make it, and it's really quite simple. So I am going to pop my piece of paper on there, and I'm going to line it up at the 1 inch mark. Let me just check what you can see, make sure you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so you can line it up at the 1 inch mark right at the top here, the edge, and then you're going to punch. And then there is a score line. You can see the end of it down here. And I'm going to score up that score line here, like that. And then I'm going to move the paper along to 4 inches. So the edge is at 4 inches. And I'm going to punch again. And I'm going to score again. Just the same. Then I'm going to turn the paper twice. So turn it all the way around to the opposite side and do exactly the same. So 1 inch. Right, score and punch. Doesn't matter whether you punch or score first. And then 4 inches. There we go. Okay, so I've done that. That's all you need to do with the actual measuring. And then I'm going to turn it around, and on the other sides, I am going to line the score mark up with this little indicator part here. So where this score line is, I'm going to line it up so it fits. And then I'm going to punch again and score back up this side. Just follow that same score line. There's only one on the board. Just follow it up. Okay. And then where the next score line is, I'm going to do exactly the same. Mark it up the indicator and then score and punch. And then on that other side, we do the same thing. We just marry it all up. It's ever so quick and easy, and you can have some stunning table decorations with these papers. It's just so lovely. There we are. And so then you've got all of these lines. So I'm going to just gently crease them. Oh, look at all the bits that came out at the end. Gently crease your lines. It's quite sturdy. It's almost like cardstock, so there's not too much to worry about. If you use really thin DSP, don't overwork your folds, I would say. Right, I'm going to bring my punch board back in. These two here, I'm going to round them off using the back end of the envelope punch board here. And it's a corner rounder, so you can round off your tops of your points. There we are. So that's done. Okay, now I'm going to take my scissors. And we'll do it this side so you can see what I'm doing. Where these big flaps are, I'm going to cut down these 2 lines. Just to that first horizontal score line. There we are. I'll turn it around and do exactly the same. There we go. Okay. So you see how your box is already starting to take shape, because we're going to end up with it kind of like that. Okay, right. So what I'm going to do to get it like that is I'm going to put my glue on the insides of these folds here so that they fold in. So you can use fast fuse, you can use your Tombow, whatever you prefer, something, or excuse me, double-sided sticky tape. I'm just going to use my snail. I would use something a little bit more durable, but it's just what I've got to hand for the demonstration. Yes, my snail might be over there, but I think I'll stick with this. Right, so you just marry up your edges so that they're nice and flush, like that. And I'll see if my snail stays stuck down. It'll be interesting if it's still stuck by Christmas. If not, I'll be having to go back with a fast fuse. There we go. That's one side. Oh, what might have been a bit more useful would be to put the glue on on all 4 before I stuck it down, but never mind. You get the general gist of it. But how would I hold my snail up the right way? Am I the only one who does that? There we go. So yeah, just make sure it's all nice and neat along the edges and that it's stuck really well. I could have cut off these two smaller notches before I glued it together to make it so you just had these two parts, but actually I like this. It kind of gives a bit of secrecy into what's in the box. So I'm going to keep mine. And then I have got my punch. This is my 3/4 inch circle punch. And I'm just going to punch in a little bit from the top to make my little box handle. You would also do this before you assembled it, but this is how I do it. So I've got it, went up my sleeve. I've got it there. Now to make sure it's exactly the same place on the other side, I'm going to just draw it. I think I did this last time. It's been a while since I made it. Right, so I'm just going to draw a little circle here to give myself a general idea of where it needs to be. If my pen works. Yes, didn't want to work. Right, there you go. And this doesn't matter because I'm going to cut it out. So there you go. And then that should just marry up together there. So pop those two flaps in and we've got our box. How amazing is that, and how fast and really pretty. This speciality card paper is absolutely gorgeous, this Year of Cheer. And it comes in silvers, golds and copper and champagne. It's all this mixed metallics, which is really in at the moment. And then I just need to make my label. Now for this one, I put Eat, Drink and Be Merry. I thought this would be great for after dinner mints, like after eights or some other kind of mints or little treat in there, chocolate. But I think I'm going to change the sentiment and put just for you. And then it could either be a table favour or could actually use it as a little gift box for a small gift on your table or under the tree. I think my block is a bit big now, I've changed that. Let's try, sorry, did I just put my head under there? Oh dear, right. Let's line it up on the grid paper so we can see that it's straight on. I'm going to do a little bit of embossing. Okay, so I've got a scrap of Whisper White cardstock. Okay, and I have got my Versamark embossing ink. But the most important part is my embossing buddy, this little cornstarch, whatever it is, pouch. If you dab it on, it takes away all the like oily finger marks, static, the things that make the embossing powder stick to the parts you don't want it to. It takes it off. It's invaluable, that little thing. I thoroughly recommend it and use it every time if you don't forget, like I do quite a lot of the time. Okay, so Just For You is going in the middle. Oh, didn't stick to my block very well. There we go, it's fine. That was hilarious. I think because the embossing ink is so gummy, it's stuck. And I'm going to bring in I've been playing with this morning, my copper embossing powder. I tried it with gold, but because the paper's got so much copper in it, the copper works so much better. Just for you. Right, let's move that one out of the way. Just grab my heat tool. Right next to me. And it'll be a little bit noisy. I do apologise, just for a moment. And you'll see the colour change. And it'll become, instead of this matte powder, it'll become shiny and glossy and gold. There we go, not gold, copper. Can you see it change? It's just gorgeous. Ta-da! Heat embossing, it always gives you that little ta-da moment, and it gets you every time. I love it. So I'm going to cut it out now. I'm going to cut it out with my one of my layering circle dies. This one, I think it's perfect size. I've got my big shot just to the side, just out of shot, so I'm just going to do that for a moment. You'll hear a bit of a noise when it goes through. Oh, and you're wobbling, sorry. Okay. There we go. Perfect. And I've got a piece of silver. This is the silver foil card that you can buy from Stampin' Up, and I just thought it goes well with the silver in the cardstock in the speciality paper. And I'm going to use one of our round stitched framelit dies with a little stitch relief to cut out my larger circle. And they coordinate with the layering circles beautifully. You'll see because I use them all the time. Right, I'm just going to pop it through the big shot. I did find that it got very caught in the die, and it was quite difficult to get out because it was mirror card. So let's hope, oh no, that came out a little bit better that time. There we are. So there's our disc, and it looks so nice. And I am going to just glue the two together. Is everyone looking forward to Christmas? I am super excited. I'm just a big child at Christmas. Okay, let's get a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals just to pop that up on the little treat box. The stamps that I've been using are from the Merry Little Labels Christmas stamp set from Stampin' Up. Let me just quickly show you. They're these ones. Absolutely gorgeous. They're really useful for loads of things. No peeking is fun, isn't it? And there's a punch that coordinates with those too. Okay. So I'm going to pop it on the front. It's a nice big one. This copper embossing powder matches the copper just exactly right. Love that. And then just to dress it up, I've got some sequin trim, some ribbon, just to make it look pretty. So I'm just going to take a length of the silver sequin. You really don't need very much. It goes on forever, this stuff. You just need a little bit. So a bit of the silver. Oh, there's a knot in the end of my length of gold. That was going to be fun to get out, isn't it? Let's have a bit of an equal length. Yeah. It's nice to dress your table up a bit and have a bit of fun making things in the meantime as well. Right, okay, so I'm going to take a glue dot. And I'm going to stick it right at the top. Right at the top there. And I'm going to stick my sequin trim on to there. Very simply. And then tie my bow. So I have to make a few of these for my Christmas lunch. I've just got to decide what kind of nice things to pop inside. Table favours or gifts. Yeah, I'm sure you would make a... Dear. No. Oh, I'm sure you'd make a much better job at doing a bow. Dear me, that was just the worst one I think I've ever done on camera. Why is that? I don't know. Okay, let's hope this one's slightly better. I don't know really, I'm just not very good at it, to be fair. It's always upside down or Anyway, you get the idea, and I'm sure you're to a much better bow than me. Somebody said to me, if you do your bow upside down, it'll come out the right way up. Let's try it. I think it's because I'm going over the cardboard or something, I don't know. Anyway, let's quickly do it and hope for the best. Right. I'm really not that much of a bow person to worry though, to be honest. Just thought it gave it a little bit of extra something. That's me trying to be really quick. Like, talk amongst yourselves. Right, okay, that's a little better. Let's just chop it off. Go for that. There we go. I think this is gorgeous. So make your table look all festive. And you could do lots of different things on the table with these papers and have your whole Christmas table coordinated. I hope you like them. I've loved making these, and I think I'm going to be making quite a few of them. They're really fun to make. I really do hope you do. I shall put the measurements again on my blog. That's inkstampshare.ink, and all the materials I've used, so you can see where they're from and all kind of information like that. So do pop over to my blog. Thanks for stopping by.